Okay, I think we're back again. If somebody can say that we are back, that's cool. Um, sorry, I guess it's a pretty good connection here on the floor, but you can imagine uh, I can imagine it's a little volatile since it's wireless. But anyway, I was talking about Zoe, but you'll see a lot more about her. She kind of has a double life, but she is personally motivated against the Federal Reserve, personally motivated against the Strategic Housing Reserve, and she has all kinds of skills and surprises. She's a good arsonist. She's a great driver. She's not a good cook, um, but you'll see more of her as the story develops in there. Jefferson is Zoe's dog. It's named after Thomas Jefferson. He just kind of plays some comic relief and shows up throughout. Um, but you saw Jefferson in one of the opening scenes. Jay is the male lead. Basically, he's the arson investigator for the Housing Department of Housing Stability. And so he's basically tasked to chase to conflict about who is the good guy, who is the bad guy, and where should I place my allegiances. So you'll see that kind of play through his character. He's kind of um, a proxy for the audience in the sense that they're trying to figure out who the good guy in this is too. And obviously, we're going to show that the bad guy is, the Fed guy. So George, you can see him. He's kind of the guy in the big guy in the green checkered shirt. He's Jay's dad. Um, he is. There's a. Hang on, a little color here. We have C3PO here. No, that's R2D2. Okay, there you go. Okay, so George, he's not a rebel at all, but he's a retired guy that relies on the silver. He's kind of the face of being a victim of inflation, being the face of having problems based on a bad economy. Um, so, uh, so he's really big into that. I won't say too much more because you don't see him yet in the comic. Um, but you will find out also that he's white and Jay is black, so it makes Jay basically biracial. It was kind of a afterthought for us because we thought it would be kind of cool, but we really don't have any major intent by it. But we get a lot of good feedback from that, actually. A lot of people are actually interested in the movie for that reason, because we have a biracial character that we don't kill, which is bizarre to me, but I'm psyched and proud to have Jay and George in the movie. Um, Om is, I'm not sure if he's pictured on the website. He's an Indian co-worker at Department of Housing Stability, or HouseStab. He kind of mumbles to himself in Hinglish, kind of a combination of Hindi and English. And a lot of our animation is being done in India, in Mumbai. It's kind of split between here and there. And so he's a big nod to our animation crew. And actually, a Bollywood movie star gave him his name, Om. At first, she gave us some longer names that were impossible to pronounce, but Om is like very accessible, and so we're using that. That's Om. Nathan is the rebel leader. He's really kind of serious. He's more like in the kind of heavier kind of oppression that you see in our movie in 2019. He's more the kind of rebel leader that you'd expect to find in that kind of thing. In this day and age, in 2011, we're not, nobody's kicking us out of this booth and burning our booth for doing an End the Fed movie. Rebels more, Nathan is sort of more oriented towards a situation where that would happen. So I can't say much more about him because we haven't revealed him yet. You'll see him quite a bit later. Bernie is one of my favorite characters personally. The character we modeled for her was going to be the lead female, and then she wasn't quite right, so we remodeled a new lead female, Zoe. And but she's kind of this punk-looking, pot-smoking lesbian. She's got a mohawk. She's got a Harley. She's got a lot of attitude. She's a lot of fun. It turned out the pot part actually isn't very rebellious. We legalized pot in 2019. We're working out packaging, all that kind of a thing. So she's smoking legal pot, but the rest of her is really very rebellious. She's not stereotypical at all. She's just fun. Um, and I guess towards that end, we actually made a lot of effort to make the Rebels fun in the first variants. They were really kind of too serious. They were kind of too heavy, and they just weren't as likable. And much like the people we know, like at Porkfest and Free State, I mean, people are actually really interested in, so we made them that way. Um, Chris is another Rebel guy. We don't know a lot of his backstory yet. We may do that someday, but he's kind of like this quirky, fun buddy with Bernie, and they just kind of do a lot of slapstick with each other as they go. Bernie actually got her name from, or her full name is Bernadette. It was kind of a joke on our part for burning your debt and burning dollar bills. It's an esoteric quote, esoteric joke that nobody will ever really get. But so Bernie is short for Bernadette. Um, okay, Victor Brandt is the chairman of the Federal Reserve. He's not fun at all. You've seen him in the comic briefly, making some press releases, but you don't really get into his heavy machinations yet. But he's very political. He's kind of this two-faced kind of game face where he talks to the press and to the public in one way, and he talks to his henchmen and his strategy in a whole nother way. And so, deep inside, you'll see he's really kind of a power-hungry tyrant.